Yeah, good morning. Happy Tuesday. PASW staff, clients, friends, join us for Classical Tuesday when we look at composers. There's a lot of composers. Lest you thought I was done after Bach, Beethoven, and Mozart. A lot of other great ones that I'm really happy that we get to talk about. Beautiful. It's going to be beautiful music today, so you're in luck because it's going to be a real treat. Very melodic, and that's it. Today we're going to be looking at Gabriel Fauré. Fauré, French. I mean, look at that name. French composer, organist, great organist, pianist, and also teacher. Very great teacher, and taught Ravel. I mean, we know Ravel. That was his student. Also, the great Nadia Boulanger, who was maybe the greatest teacher of the 20th century, one of the greatest teachers. Definitely music teacher. They both studied under Fauré, so he's got some street cred. One of the most influential French composers, though, of his generation. Influenced a lot of 20th century music, so he's writing this at the end of the 19th century. So I mean, what is that? That's mostly romantic, is 19th century, right? Then we get into Impressionism with Debussy, Ravel, but that's going to start mostly with Erik Satie and Fauré. So okay, let's go over to where he's born, southern France. Let's go from Tuscany, where Dark Eyes was filmed, because we looked at that yesterday. Let's go to southern France. He's born in 1845, so he's born right around Rimsky-Korsakov, because we looked at him a few weeks ago. But he's before Debussy, before Ravel. So he's one of the fathers of Impressionism music. We know that Impressionism is the same, with art, Monet, and described by brushstrokes and the play of the light that they're, and the edges. Gorgeous. Everyone loves Monet. So with music, that was translated to dreamy, water-like music. We talked about how does music sound like water, but when you listen to this, that's Ravel. That sounds like water, like a beautiful waterfall, dreamy, dreamlike. That's Impressionism, but that starts really with Erik Satie, who we did a whole class on, and Fauré. So what does that tell you? It comes from France. It's starting in France with these great thinkers. So he's before Ravel, Debussy, Saint-Saëns. He's friends with Saint-Saëns. He's gonna they have a lasting friendship, but Saint-Saëns is a little bit older than him. And then he dies in 1924, so 79. So think of what he saw. Chopin's writing when he's born, so mid 19th century romantic Chopin, Wagner, those guys. Then he's gonna see Ravel, and then he's gonna die when the Jazz Age is coming in. So he's going to see a lot of that music. And there's a little bit of jazz in Fauré as we listen, mostly because he's very well known for his songs. Not really a symphony, opera writer. I mean, of course he can do that. But mostly his songs, chamber music, and a requiem, which we're going to listen to at the end. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So he displayed a talent as a pretty young boy. When he was 9, he was sent to a conservatory, and he was training to be a church organist. That was that's how he made his income, and a choir master. And then this is where Saint-Saëns is one of his teachers and became a lifelong friend. So made a living as a teacher and an organist, for the church. The church gives you a good income every week. And then became director of the Paris Conservatory, which we've talked about as one of the greatest music schools in the world. Didn't have much time for composing, so would spend summers, often like other composers like Mahler, where you would retreat and go away for the summer and compose for the summer. when we hear his music, it's very personal, right? That's again goes with Impressionism. It's not patriotic music like Shostakovich, although he could be personal. Not like that, and that's later. But it's very fresh sounding, personal music. This is not atonal music. This is right before atonal is going to take off with Schoenberg. Like I said, it's got some jazz elements. I mean, this is one of his most famous, but listen to this. There's jazz-like chords in this. This is Après un rêve, After a Dream, one of his most beautiful pieces. There's a lot of minor 7 chords, minor 9 chords. Where does that come from? I mean, Bill Evans loved this stuff and would use this in jazz. Blossom Dearie, also the singer but pianist, great pianist. Those 50s jazz pianists, been Bud Powell, they were taking harmonies from Ravel, but also from Fauré, because if you think of this, that's what we just heard, that's a song, right? I mean, that's just like a song you would write in, Tin Pan Alley. It's just different harmonies, but it's like an intro, then a voice sings. And so he's creating the early song, and we looked at that with Schubert. Schubert was way before doing lead, right? Lieder, the German, song. Well, with French, you get the art song. So these are songs, and we went all the way back to Monteverdi, right? And Renaissance songs. So songs have always been going around, but these are more modern songs. He's becoming, because he's right when this was written in 1878, Après un rêve. So that's right into modernism, right when the 20th century starts. So it's that's why it still sounds really pretty relevant and fresh and modern sounding, dissonance, but still a lot of melody in it. Probably another one of his most famous is the Pavane, F sharp minor. It was written in 1887, so still around the same time. It was originally a piano piece, and then he orchestrated it for a smaller ensemble, a smaller orchestra. Pavane's a Spanish dance, so a lot of composers have done that, but listen to how beautiful this is. So a huge melodic line, right? I mean, there's kind of the pizzicato, the walking bass, but there's a pretty contemporary sounding melodic line over it. I mean, this is stuff you can whistle. This is stuff you can sing. These harmonies are beautiful. So that's a little bit of Fauré. Impressionist, colorful composer, developed serious health problems, probably because of smoking, but he became deaf, sounds became distorted, so it was hard for him to even listen to music because they sounded odd in his brain, supposedly, so he suffered increasing deafness. But gave us some beautiful music, including what we're going to listen to right now, which is a few minutes, but we have to give Fauré a few minutes. I really want you to listen to how gorgeous this is. So he wrote a Requiem, composed around 1887 to 1890, so again, right before the 20th century. Choral, orchestral setting of, the Mass for the Dead in Latin, and one of probably his most famous piece. Although, I mean, all of these probably some of this music you've heard of and maybe didn't know it was Fauré, but the last movement, one of the most beautiful. So sit back, relax, listen to just a few minutes of how gorgeous this piece is. That's the very last movement of the Requiem in Paradisium. How beautiful is that? The text mostly is, may angels lead you to paradise. Such a pure sentence, pure music, something where you just let go of all the anxiety and stress that's holding you back, and you just float into this gorgeous setting of these singers, the orchestra. You just sometimes we're so overwhelmed all the time. So much anxiety, so much angst, all this stuff, but this is music that's just pure and beautiful and gorgeous, and makes us think, okay, just be present in this moment as we listen to this and think really how beautiful life is, full of pain and suffering and over much too quickly. So anyway, that's Fauré. So I hope you enjoyed that, and this is another pleasure sharing this composer with you, one of my favorites. Okay, see you tomorrow. Okay, bye.